Hey everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Kings. My name is Matt, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys exactly what's been going on with Shiba Inu recently, including one of my predictions that actually came true. So if you guys are new, drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more daily SHIB vids. Let's get right into it. So if you guys haven't seen this right now, this is the 7-day sort of look here at what Shiba Inu has been doing, of course, right from that insane breakout to a little bit of a pullback, a pretty big pullback actually if you bought all the way up here, which I did say, was probably, not the best idea. You guys can see we have our pullback here, and then we have a period of consolidation, and this is pretty big stuff. So again, we are down 9% on the day, but really, on the week, on the week graph here, this isn't anything overly tragic. So let's take a look at this, guys. So you guys can see here, I told you guys right here at the top, I said, look, not financial advice, but me personally, I don't think it's the best idea to buy all the way up here. And obviously, if you want to support SHIB, the token, that's great and all, but from a smart financial perspective, I don't really think it's the best to buy at a 100% daily increase or whatnot. Let's see what happens in regards to a bit of a pullback. And thankfully we were able to see a very sort of predictable, nothing tragic, but a predictable naturally occurring pullback, which you guys can see right here. And of course this is a pretty big jump from 20 to all the way up to 34, but again I'd say most people probably bought somewhere around here, if not long before that. If you guys are watching this channel, you guys probably bought somewhere back long before this surge here. So this pullback again is natural and to be expected, but after this pullback, you guys can see we reach a period of consolidation. I said, hey, this is probably going to happen. I said for a few days here we'll watch it trade horizontally, and that's pretty much what I anticipate is going to happen. So you guys can see obviously here we have 29-ish as sort of the ceiling for that, and then obviously the bottom here around 24, and you could give or take a few zeros here or whatnot, but really I think this is a pretty good gauge, somewhere around 29 to around 24. Now the question is, what do we look for when trying to figure out whether or not SHIB is going to, maybe fall flat on its face and get sent downwards, or is it going to surge up and break out? Those are the two questions that I think you guys are going to have to ask yourself. But another thing I think you guys want to ask yourself is whether or not you want to make a Webull account, guys. Link down below in the description. It is so easy to do. I recently got $150 of fractional shares in Facebook. So someone else who clicked that link, I don't know who it is, but one of you guys also got really lucky on that. So congratulations again, guys. Link down below in the description. Takes you literally 2 minutes. It's free, and it's probably the easiest 15-20 bucks you guys will ever make. Sometimes even more, again, if you get lucky on a certain stock. So again, you could make a Webull account down below. You could easily trade SHIB, other cryptocurrencies, and stocks over there. Link down below in the description. But like I said, guys, the question you have to ask yourself is whether or not you believe that this sort of horizontal line of consolidation here is going to be long lasting. Well, there are a few things that we could look at to give us a better gauge. So here is the relative strength index. Obviously you guys can see it is trading within it, so this doesn't raise any particular red flags. If the relative strength index was more like this, if it was all the way above, I'd say, oh my goodness, it looks like it's going to crash, because the relative strength index here is way overinflated. And then vice versa, if it was trading more like this, I'd say, well, it is way underbought right now or oversold, and it could very well surge upwards. So that would be the typical case in an instance of the relative strength index being used as an asset like this. But again, you guys can see here the relative strength index is overinflated here. It's above 80 here, above 70, and that is when it has its period of pullback. But again, the relative strength index isn't always right, because if we are to look a little bit further back here, you guys can see when we first reached 0.000014, this is when I sold a little bit, obviously relative strength index here being very, very high, and it actually stayed very high like that for a while as the price increased. So in that instance, I was burned by the relative strength index. So again, it's a good indicator. Is it everything? No. I definitely do think that there are times where the relative strength index is not all that useful, but it is definitely worth considering in situations like this. Now, another thing that we could do here is the Fibonacci retracement, of course, just to analyze this most recent run. So if we expand everything here, you guys can see this is measuring, just from, late in the day yesterday to early morning today, and it is analyzing, the down, sort of trajectory. So we have our high here of around 30, headed down all the way to around 24, and this is analyzing essentially how it is rebounding. So if we were to expand it even more, you guys can see this is is the way it has rebounded. So, after 100% of the day's gain were lost, you guys can see it manages to recover 23% of that, over here. At one point here, it was almost at 50% of that. Right now, we're at around 38.2% of that recovery. So, it has gained a little bit of, sort of steam. It's gained a little bit of a recovery, on the day. So this is always a good sign. Again, it is still a little bit, too early to tell. Again, this is not, a long enough period of time where, it is really being a big factor. But, if you were to make a safe bet, you could say, yeah, it looks like it is, hit past a lot of the key Fibonacci indicators, over the next, few hours or so. We could watch this, continue to trade upwards, hopefully in the next few hours or so. But again, unfortunately, that doesn't solve our problem, being in the fact that it is still trapped within these horizontal boundaries. I'm going to refresh to get this off my screen here. Again, unfortunately, it still looks like it is trapped within these horizontal sort of boundaries. So yes, there may be a way to, accurately predict, what it is going to do within here. You could say, well, it's going to go to 28, and then it's going to go to 24, and then 27. There might be a way you could do that by looking at the relative strength index and the Fibonacci retracement and some other, strategies like that. But to say whether or not it is going to completely fall through, those horizontal lines, whether or not it's going to completely fall through or it'll break out of it, that is unfortunately a little too early to tell. But, that is something I do advise, you guys are continuing to look at in the near future, of course, because honestly, this did not dump at all, really. It's managed, when you really zoom out here, obviously the fact it was way, way, way low all the way over here. When you zoom out here, really, man, what we're watching is a pretty nice recovery of a lot of those, losses from this huge surge. Yeah, we have this massive surge here, and then it's like, oh my God, is SHIB going to go to zero? It's going to be worth nothing. And it has proven to us that, yeah, once it hits around 21, 20-ish, once it hits around here, man, it is going to, get ready for another breakout. So, if I were you guys, I would say, yeah, right now looks like a, semi-decent time to buy again. I've seen better times to buy SHIB. Obviously, a month ago was a better time to buy SHIB, but hindsight is always 20/20 for a lot of people. So, again, guys, definitely, do be looking at this, do be following it, very, very closely, but I would say if I were you guys that the best thing you do is just over the next 24, 48 hours, see what it does in these imaginary lines. Again, they are obviously kind of important because this does happen quite often with cryptos where, you'll watch some kind of trade and bounce off the top and bounce off the bottom and bounce off the top and vice versa. You'll watch that happen, but, a lot of the time that will be a sign as to whether or not it's getting ready to break out and emerge or it's getting ready to sink and to crash. So those are the basics, guys. I hope you all have enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, folks. Again, Webull link is down below in the description if you guys want to get started over there. Again, super, super easy stuff. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys like the Halloween lights behind me, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.